you think some guys let the moment get to them?
You know, we know that you can't make mistakes like that in the playoffs against a really good football team, and we did. I don't want to say the moment got too big for him. I just think we made some mistakes. Coaching, it always starts with me as a coach. There were some coaching mistakes, and there's going to be guys that are going to want some plays back out there. But I didn't feel and I didn't sense for a moment that the moment was too big for him. It was a great atmosphere here. But I never felt that out there. We just didn't make some plays, and we didn't coach good enough at the end of the day.
What mistakes were the coaching mistakes?
Well, again, anytime their defense is, or pardon me, they score 17 points early on, and the offense has 0 points. You're not putting your guys in position to play, position to make plays. So. We had to do a better job of that. I thought the defensive game plan for Tampa was pretty good with some of the run blitzes they had on, and there were some things that we would like to have some more runs early on, but you have to adjust to the way they're blitzing things off the edge, and some of the answers sometimes is just spit a look out off to the side. I think there's probably 4 or 5 runs that we ended up getting out of, and they did a good job, and we spit it out to the perimeter because of their run blitz, and then they did a good job of rallying to it, and so I take that responsibility. We weren't good enough with our answers against some of the run blitzes.
Jalen had today, and what did you make of his performance?
I'm sorry, I missed that first part.
Some of the issues Jalen Hurts had today, and what did you make of his performance?
Obviously I need to go back and watch the tape. Again, we weren't as crisp as we needed to be on offense. I thought there were some good zone read things that he did and read it pretty well. A couple of the early things that happened, like some of the early third downs weren't necessarily his fault of what happened. Again, I'll have to watch the tape through it. It's not going to come out as his best graded game, and it's not going to come out as a lot of our guys' best graded games. So I'll have to watch the tape to get further answers for you. But again, just not a crisp game, and that always starts with me as the head coach, and then another quarterback. We're always going to take responsibility for that.
Emotions in the locker room after the game. It was your first playoff as head coach. It was Jalen's first playoff as quarterback. How much does this hurt? And what does it feel?
Yeah, it definitely hurts because the goal is never just to get to the playoffs. The goal is to get in and do some damage in there. And so that was everybody's mindset. We were confident coming in, and that was our mindset that we were going to do that. And whenever it doesn't go as planned and the season ends, in playoffs it's even harder because then it's just over, right? It's going to hurt. But I just think I've always appreciated about the football season that it's a journey, and you gotta appreciate the journey that you went through together as a football team. The meetings, the practices, the training camp, the training camp practices, the training camp up in New York against the Jets, just all the things that built us into the team the 2021 Eagles. And so you get sad because and you feel that. It's sad because it's over, right? You're so happy that it happened and the journey happened and the relationships that were built, but it hurts and it stings because that journey of the 2021 Eagles is over, and that team will never be the same again, right? There'll be changes, right? Never does a team look exactly the same as it did the year before, and so I just think it's a special group of guys, and so you're sad because the journey's over, and hopefully you get as many of those special guys back that you can, because the whole group's special. I said to the guys that just the foundation, when I came in, when we stepped in here, the foundation was very solid to begin with, and we just continue to grow it. And so I'm grateful for that. And it'll just be hard that we're not game planning next week with our game plan and our offense and defensive game plans, and we're not meeting with the guys, and so that's what hurts and that's what stings about it.
It took a while for you to get Devontae involved offensively. Was that something Tampa was doing, or if not, what went into that?
Well, early on, again, you always want to get your playmakers going as early as you can. But again, the defense dictates some of that, and the amount of plays we had dictates some of that. We really didn't have a good drive until was it our third or fourth drive? Maybe our fourth drive, where it was a sustained drive. But no doubt, I mean, that's my job to get Devontae going earlier because he's a heck of a football player. And of course, we want to get him going, but there's different things that play into that. But I'll accept that. It starts with me, regardless of how the drives are going. But yeah. So definitely got to get him going earlier, and he wasn't a part of it early. There were some things called to him in the defense, early on. The defense forced the ball to go somewhere else. So you want to get them going, but you also don't want to force it to what they're doing.
What happened on Jalen Rager's muff punt, and did you consider not putting him back out there?
Well, the muff punt right there, the wind was messed with him a little bit earlier in the game. And, it looked like he came up. Again, I'll have to look at the tape exactly what happened, and I'm going to the defense to try to help get that thing going, so I didn't have a chance to talk to Clay about it. Obviously, I saw it just looked like he misjudged it and came back. Sure, like whenever you have a mistake or something like that, that's a big mistake. You always are going to be like, hey, what's the next approach? Does Greg Ward go back there? Well, Greg Ward had back spasms and he was out, and so we would have explored that option. He got another opportunity, made a good play, but then they made a mistake again on that, and he's going to want those plays back. We'll get back to the drawing board and fix those things. But as far as why we stayed with Jalen, I'm glad he made a play after that. Again, not happy with the one that happened after the play that he made, but it was more so about Greg being out.
When you get down early, obviously 2 possessions, it's never good. You never want to be down those 2 possessions. But the way you built this offense, particularly, how much stress does that put on you to be in that situation?
I think it would create. I know what you're getting at there with, like, as far as being a run first team, it's hard to be down 17 points. But I think what you've seen from our offense the entire year is that we are an explosive offense, even though we're a run first offense. And so I didn't feel the stress until we went down, maybe 24. I felt like we could play, our game still, where we were mixing it, maybe passing it just a little bit more. But the explosive plays weren't there today. Again, anytime the explosive plays aren't there, I'm always going to put myself in that situation first. I'll have to see the numbers of what we were, but some of our explosive plays came on some, when we were down and they were playing a little bit softer. But I didn't feel that press until we were down maybe 24-0.
Bigger picture, how do you walk away feeling about Jalen Hurts?
Again, we're all going to say for today's game, he didn't play his best game, as we all know. But you don't take the body of work that he had for 17 weeks, and I know he didn't play in 2 games, so 15 weeks. And say you put everything on this game, right? And I know we're all judged on the last game that we played. I understand that. I fully get that. But I felt really, I felt like Jalen grew throughout the year. And he got better as a passer. He got better as a reading the defenses, getting the ball to the right place. He developed so much in his ability to extend plays, of not only making plays with his feet, but also making plays downfield on the scramble. I know the one today, he scrambled and threw the interception. He had some other good scrambles that were good plays though as well. So I feel really good with what we have in place right here at the quarterback position. He played. I thought he had a great year, and he came a long way. And that's what I expect from Jalen, just because of the type of football character he has, the type of character he has, the toughness that he has, the love for football that he has. I can't say enough good things about Jalen the player, the person, and the player. And so I feel good about him. I know, again, this was the game that none of us are going to be satisfied with. Me, him, multiple guys on that football team. But I'm really pleased with how he came along this year and the leader he is on this football team.
You got 2 more guys.
Did you also get a sense about, being in the playoffs, the difference between falling behind really against a team like the Buccaneers as opposed to maybe the Giants or Washington?
Yeah, you never want to start slow, regardless of who you're playing, because in this league anybody can beat you at any time. And but there's less margin of error in the playoffs. We that is something that we definitely talked about. That the assignment and the technique that happen. Those are important no matter what game 1 through 17. The assignment technique's super important, but it becomes even more important, when the playoffs come. And so it's just the mistakes get amplified. You can't turn the ball over 3 times like we did today and beat a quarterback or a team, a quarterback like Tom Brady, or a team like the Tampa Bay Bucks, or a coach like Coach Arians, or a coach like Todd Bowles. You can't do that. And so those mistakes just get amplified as you get into this style of football.
Nick, when this defense struggles, it typically struggles for the same reasons, opposing quarterback aside. Why do you think that is?
Well, again, I think that we definitely got better in as far as going through, challenging a little bit more, getting our rush home a little bit more, pressuring a little bit more. I think the defensive coaches made good adjustments as the year went on, so it wasn't the same. It may have been, some quarterback completion percentages as the year went on, but it's not like it was against the same bullets that we were flying at him, at those quarterbacks. And so we definitely, Coach Gannon and I, we've talked through it, being where we were in completion percentage, that doesn't sit well with us. We played some good quarterbacks too, but again, it should never be that high. It's not our standard of what we want it to look like. But credit to Tom Brady, and he's seen everything that you could imagine, and he was on it today.